I can't do rules.
Man, everybody's gonna fail. It's just how you fail and when you're gonna fail, but you're gonna fail 100%. Because we get a lot of guys come in, and as I was telling you guys earlier, they don't do the one closes. And I'm like, get on the phone with the lead. You get on the lead. He's basically all the discovery stuff. Like we know if they're behind on payments. We know the condition of the property. You can just go and qualify and ask all those questions. They filling out the form. They want to sell their property. They have a property. We have all this. All you gotta do is just get them to close. Yeah. And then they'll go in.
We reply to all of our DMs. Like, people ask us questions all day, and I'm a big proponent of free value.
Yeah.
I will answer all your questions that you have. Send them my way.
I'll tell you mine. Lead comes in through marketing campaign. If it's a Facebook inbound lead, it goes straight to the closers.
Okay.
If it is a outbound, it's going to a lead manager, and then that lead manager setting the appointment for the closer.
Makes sense.
Okay.
How many of you guys' deals are one-call closers? Yo, what's up, guys? How everybody doing? I hope everybody having a magnificent day. But today I have something way special, guys. I have JT and Gunnar Morgan in on the podcast today in Miami, guys. We just flew in, and we're here to give you guys a good time. So let's hop right into it. These are the mans, the myths, and the legends right here. All right, guys. So I work with both of you guys, and you guys use my services. And I think you guys are really interesting. Honestly, sitting down talking to you guys, and it was my first time actually meeting these gentlemen in person. So it's kind of weird that we spent a lot of money, and I paid these guys a lot of money, they paid me a lot of money, and we finally get to meet. I feel like I already know you guys.
Yeah, it's weird. It's crazy.
But the people on YouTube or like my audience don't know you guys. So today what we're going to do is kind of take it back and then bring it to where you guys are at and see what you guys are going to project in the future, what you guys planning on doing there. Yeah. Is that fair?
Sounds good, dude.
All right, awesome. So, Gunnar, I'm going to let you go first. Brother, man, tell them who you is, man, because we did a lot of business together.
Yeah, absolutely. So, my name's Gunnar. I've been with Courtney for, 2.5 years now?
Yeah.
2 years. 2 years.
Damn, yeah.
2 years. I was, hold on, man. Yeah, 2 years. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, 2 years using your service, closed thousands in wholesale assignment fees. Yeah, man, I can't say anything bad about your services, man. It's awesome.
Thank you.
It's awesome. I love it.
JT, talk to him.
Yeah, I've been with Courtney, I think, about a year, and he's responsible for my best deal ever. It was a 0 down, subject to deal that cash flows $800 a month on one property. It's fantastic, and that is my favorite deal of all time.
Is it really? Yeah. Okay.
And the first deal I ever got from you, too. Favorite deal of all time.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
I actually got 2 0 down seller finance. One of them got the due on sale clause hit, but it's okay.
Okay. See, dude, that's interesting, dude, because you're really good at creative finance. I know we was on the coaching call. Gunnar was like, I know the guy for creative finance. So we're going to definitely get into that, because I do want to touch into that for sure.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So, Gunnar, let's start with you, man. How long you've been, wholesaling for?
Been wholesaling for, I think this is 3.5 years.
3.5 years.
3.5 years.
How long have you been on your own?
On my own, this is my second year in business.
How is it?
It's awesome, man. I love it.
Okay.
So my first year, I started out with another company. That's how I got my foot in the door.
Yeah.
I worked for them, rose to top of sales. And that's when I was like, okay, I'm making 5% off of these $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 assignment fees.
Yeah.
I feel like I can go out and do it on my own.
Ooh.
So I didn't have a non-compete, luckily. And so December of 2022, I left the company. January 2023, I started my own thing. And hopped on with you immediately, bro.
Yeah.
I saw all your ads popping up, and I was like, man, the best way to get the best leads
is have them come to you.
Have them come to me. So I was like, I got to hop on.
Okay, man. So if somebody's starting out right now, do you recommend them actually going to an operation already that have the leads and have the sales process, everything dialed in, or you recommend them actually going to figure it out on their own?
That's a great question. It depends, because luckily for me, I was coached by like some of the best in the industry. And I mean, they were crushing it, dude. And that's how I was able to be so successful when I left.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I tried doing it before that, before I even hopped on with them, because I knew of them for like a year prior to before I worked with them. And so I tried doing it on my own. I got like PropStream, the 7-day free trial and all that. And like, I just never understood it.
Okay.
Like I didn't understand the concept of it. So I don't know if that's how it is for a lot of people. I know I'm more of like a hands-on learner. I learn better when I'm like being shown exactly like step by step how to do it.
Okay.
Back then I didn't have the money for like courses or anything like that. So yeah, I mean, I would personally say find somebody in the industry, work for them, get your feet wet, and then go out and do it. But I I mean, there are a lot of people that see it on YouTube and get it like that, and then they go out and do it. So it really just depends on how you learn.
Yeah, and most of the companies do they have like non-competes now.
Yeah.
Because of that, so you probably gotta go and figure it out on your own now, pretty much. Because like big wholesale operations, they're like, hey, you just coming in, they churning and burning people. It's like, I just want to learn wholesale. You supply me with a couple deals and I leave. So they churn probably shot down, right?
Exactly.
Okay, yeah. So you probably stuck guys, and these guys here, we're gonna talk about a little bit later. They got a community where they also teach people as well. So we're gonna definitely go into that as well. JT, you talk to us, brother, man.
I was gonna say something kind of similar because I know for me, when I first started wholesaling, I just thought I couldn't believe it. Like I just could not fathom that would actually work. How you could get somebody to like sell you their house for cheaper than what it's worth, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't fathom that would work. So I tried to do it by myself, and I made probably $30,000. You know,
A year?
no, just like over a couple months, probably.
By yourself?
Yes, but
Okay.
that wasn't where I wanted to be, right?
Okay.
I want to be balling. You know what I'm saying? I'm the kind of guy, I want to be balling. So I'm like, yeah, I'm doing this, but how can I scale? That was all me. Like, it was all me, like, cold calling. I was the one handling everything, doing acquisitions, all that stuff. And I'm like, well, how do I scale? And I would have never learned how to do that if I didn't get mentorship, or if I didn't ask for people, or if I didn't ask questions. So my thing is, maybe, there's two ways you can do it. If you have no money, you got two options. One, you go work for somebody who's going to show you the ropes because they have to.
Yeah.
Or you find somebody who will mentor you for free. Nowadays, there's too much money to be made in mentorship for someone to probably do it for free. And I've done free mentorship. Like, I've given free mentorship in the past.
And they'll take it.
And none of them were locked in enough to be able to say, or to be able to do a deal.
Yeah.
Because they had no financial incentive. They had nothing holding them accountable.
Yeah.
I started charging people, and almost instantly they started getting being successful. So I think the thing specifically for them is like, if you have money, just get a mentorship and let someone implement the business processes that they learn and they've been successful with, and let them implement that into your business.
Oh.
Yeah.
If they don't have the money, go work for somebody or beg for free mentorship or ask questions.
Yeah, dude, that's really good that you went into that. Also, like, I know this one company that I work with, dude, like, their guys, like, their sales guys is probably making like 20, 30 grand a month.
Yeah.
So, like, you can make really good money if you had a good operation that had inbound leads and stuff like that. Like, because even if you had the money for mentorship, you know, you still want to probably have money for lead generation, you know, and you still want to be involved in it and, like, skipping, like, you guys are going to talk about all that stuff, right? You know, hey, I found, but
It's funny you say that, and this is hilarious.
Talk to me.
But both my acquisitions guys, one of them has an AMG with an AP.
Okay.
So they have an AMG and they have an Audemars. And my other acquisitions guy has an autobiography Range Rover and a Maybach. So it's like,
Yeah.
you know, they're flashy about it. I mean, that's acquisitions though. You know, sales guys like to be like that.
Yeah. See, and so that's cool, right? So they working for you and they can make 20, 30, you know, $1,000 a month and go and get these nice expensive cars and stuff like that. So sometimes it is best for you guys to actually go work for somebody. But if some people don't want to work for somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If you don't, see, I'm not that. I can't do rules. You know, I gotta be on.
I gotta create them. I don't know. Like, I gotta create the rules. I'm not a rule. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I ain't even like the law, so I just break them just because there was a law. I can't do this. I'm gonna do it on purpose.
Yeah.
Like, I have the money in my pocket. I'm still gonna steal this candy. No, I'm kidding, guys. But okay, so we recommend. It depends on where you at. Sounds like you got money. Go pay for the mentorship.
Yeah.
If you really got money, and don't try to get it for free, because really nobody's gonna offer it to you for free. And if they is offering to you for free, they're probably not even doing any deals.
About it, right.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because if I'm doing deals, if I'm offering you mentor, like, you guys are still wholesaling and coaching.
Yeah.
So you guys are actually in it. Somebody come to you and say, hey, teach me for free. It's like, dude, I can go and call somebody right now. I can call a motivated lead, make 20 grand. So why would I go and teach you for free and not get no incentive from it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that doesn't make sense. So you may can get somebody, but it's a lot of begging, dude. I got one guy that's always hitting me up, asking me questions. I'm like, I give you answers because I don't mind giving free value.
Yeah.
But at a certain time, it's like, I'm giving away too much free value. It's taking up a lot of my time to even reply to you. The cost benefit isn't there.
Yeah, like we reply to all of our DMs. Like, people ask us questions all day, and I'm a big proponent of free value.
Yeah.
But then they'll be like, hey, can you hop on calls and like walk me through this deal? I'm like, I don't have time for that anymore. Like, if you wanted to pay, maybe, but I will answer all your questions that you have, send them my way, but I can't spend 2 hours with you on the phone because that's losing me money.
Exactly. Because a while ago, I think like about a year ago, I was breaking down how much money I made an hour.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I can't spend this hour, you know what I mean? Like this hour just teaching you, getting you free value. At least pay me what my time's worth an hour. And then, no, I don't want to pay. Guys, you got to pay to play.
We run into a lot of people that just want free stuff.
Just want free stuff, but then they don't actually turn nothing up. You know what I mean?
They don't take action.
They don't take action because you
That's
want
my
it for
biggest issue.
Yeah, they don't take action. So that benefits nobody. Okay,
Yep.
so let's go back deeper. Let's go back further from before we even got into wholesaling.
Yeah.
Guys, who were you guys in high school? Because that's where it all starts. Because a lot of young guys are hopping into wholesaling. You know what I mean? Some guys, we got some guys that are in college. We got some guys that are finishing up high school right now. That's in a program. So if we're talking directly to these guys,
Yeah.
who were you guys?
We talked to a client last night that literally just graduated high school.
Yeah.
And he's looking to get into our program. But dude, going back that far, I mean, I was like the new kid in high school. So like I didn't really have any friends going into high school because I went to a different middle school. And so yeah, going into high school, I was fresh, didn't know anyone, had no friends, and didn't really know like what my purpose was back then. Had no idea. I was just working out a lot. I just liked the gym because my uncle owned a CrossFit gym.
Oh, wow, okay.
So I would just work out like all the time, go to school. That was it. And then my freshman year, coach came up to me and was like, "Hey, have you ever played football?" And I was like, "No, I haven't. I've never played sports because my childhood was like very rough growing up. Like I was super poor. So we didn't have money to like play sports and like go out, do anything." So like he came to me, I thought it was like completely free. So I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." And I ended up getting a in-school scholarship to be able to play for free because I didn't have that much money. And so that was super cool. Made some good friends. And like 2 weeks into it, met my fiance, my now fiance. And
Congrats.
yeah, thank you. And so yeah, we just went through high school together. Like I started meeting her friends, and like I was known because of her because she was like the popular girl in school at the time. And so yeah, dated all throughout high school. Senior year, won homecoming king queen together. Super awesome experience.
Yes.
And but my senior year was COVID, and during that time I was like getting into acting and stuff, and because my uncle was a background actor in the movie Divergent.
Is it the same uncle that owned the CrossFit gym?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So he was like, "Dude, I think you could be like a perfect background actor," and they offer like stand-up roles all the time. And I was like, "Oh snap!" So he gave me this number, and I called them. They were like, "Yeah, we have a background opening for this TV show called The Legacies," which was a spin-off of Vampire Diaries.
Yeah.
So it was pretty big, and it was in my hometown, Covington. So I went there, and I stopped going to high school. Like my senior year, just stopped going. After we won homecoming king and queen, sports was over, I just completely stopped, right?
Okay.
And so this was like January now. I'm doing background acting, and
So you in it?
yeah, no.
So
I'm
did
in
you
it.
get in Legacy?
Yeah, I was in the background show.
Dude, I binge watched it.
Did you?
Yeah,
No
which is
way.
funny. Yeah.
That's freaking awesome.
Okay.
Dude. So yeah, I'm in Legacies. I'm doing background roles, and like they start offering people like stand-up roles, like to speak, and you had to apply for it, obviously.
Yeah.
And right when I was about to apply for it, COVID hit. So like they shut everything down.
Dang.
And so I was like, dang, man, what am I going to do? And I had no idea what I was going to do after high school. COVID hit. We're not going to school anymore. So I'm like, dude, am I even going to graduate? Because like I haven't been going. And so I really like had no idea like what was next. I was living in my friend's basement at the time. I was sleeping in his basement floor. It was kind of fun. Like it sounds sad, like, oh, I was homeless, but like at the same time, it was so much fun.
Yeah, it was your friend. Yeah, yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
We
Okay.
just hung out, like ate all the time, and just like.
What were your parents at this time?
My mom is a alcoholic.
Okay.
And I wasn't really talking to my dad at the time.
Okay.
And so yeah, it was like
You didn't want to be home.
I didn't want to be home. Didn't connect with them well. So long story on that. By the way.
Yeah.
But going back.
That's another podcast right there, guys.
Yeah. Going back to this. So once COVID hit, I'm like, dude, what's popping right now? And TikTok was like it.
Okay. Yeah.
So I was like, dude, I'm gonna start doing TikTok dances, right? Because that's what's
Renegade.
happening in 2020.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Renegade.
So I jump on that and I see these guys popping off. Bryce Hall, and they have the Sway House, right? And I'm like, I'm gonna be a part of that. I'm gonna shit on everybody and I'm gonna be a part of that.
Really?
And this was like in California, right? So I start making all these TikTok dances, like acting like them and all this stuff. Dude, I was getting shit on so bad. So bad. So many people from high school were making fun of me. Like, who does this guy think he is?
Yeah.
But like everything that I get in my mind, once I get it in my mind, I have a one-track mind.
Okay.
So like once I
You
get on a
dialed in.
topic, I have to do it.
Tunnel vision.
Yeah, and I'm committed to it.
Okay.
So I get on that, and we end up. Hold on, what was it?
Did you make it to the house?
No. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So jumping back to that. Okay. So I start trying to like get into the house and like make TikToks like they're making.
Yeah.
And then by that time we're hitting summer, so like graduation time. And I'm like, dude, we're not having a graduation anymore because of COVID.
Yeah.
And it gets really bad, right?
Yeah.
So then I make this post, and this post is, I guess Bryce Hall had like this competition or whatever. He was one of the Sway members, right?
Okay.
He has this competition, and it's like the winner of this competition is getting flown out to Sway and like all this stuff. So I make this crazy video. It blows up overnight, has like 1.5 million views, and he DMs me. And he's like, yo, bro, I don't even care if you win the competition or not. I'm flying you out regardless. So I'm like, dude, this is it. This is my spot right here. Like, I just made it. And so I DM'd him back, and we're like hitting it off. Like, I'm about to go out there. And it ends up not happening because of COVID. And he blames it on COVID. But besides the point, during all this time, I was getting so much hate on social media from people in high school because they were like, dude, like, what is this guy doing, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's making TikTok dances in 2020. Like, it was a time.
Yeah.
Okay. So then during that time, like I mentioned, we were supposed to have graduation, and they ended up canceling it. And I remember my fiance, she made this post saying like, oh, I wish we could have had graduation. Like, it's such a bummer we can't have graduation.
Yeah.
But, you know, I had a great time in high school. Basically just like sending a condolence. Like, she posted a sweet picture and all that stuff. And this is the time where everybody's outrage just like unleashed.
Really?
I guess from us in high school. I don't really know. She had like 3,000 comments in less than 24 hours. People just saying, I hope natural selection happens to you. And like, I can't believe you're saying you want a graduation during COVID and all this stuff. So me being TikTok star at this time, I want to get involved with some drama to get some attention to my name. So I start commenting under there, and I'm like, you guys are stupid. COVID's fake. You know, like, I was such a big advocate for like, COVID's not real.
Yeah, yeah.
And so people start backlashing me, and they're saying all this crazy stuff like, oh, who's this TikTok boy? Who's this actor? And all this stuff. And I was like, oh man, I'm getting like a lot of hate. So I go live on Instagram, and I'm like, I have the whole senior class and the junior class in my live. There's like 500 people in there just clowning me the whole time. And I'm saying the same thing, COVID's fake, and all this stuff. And people are like, oh my gosh, you and Hannah peaked in high school. This is gonna be the most pivotal moment in your career. Just the meanest thing like you could say to people. But
especially when they graduate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They were like, you guys peaked in high school. I hope you guys break up, take the G out of her bio and all this stuff. And I was like, dang, people are ruthless, bro. I thought these were our friends.
Yeah.
And then I remember this one girl, the last thing I ever said on there was this one girl commented and said, at least I didn't peak in high school. And I was like, dang.
Took that
you
personal.
know what?
Yeah.
I took that personal. So I was like, the last thing I said, I responded, and this is when I like ended all of like the going back and forth with people. Last thing I said on that comment section was, please remember my name because you're going to hear about me again.
Oh,
And that was like,
now look at you now, baby. I love that. Boom. Now you done scale your thing up, man. You got the coaching community, and you here on the podcast, you in Miami. You guys do a lot of stuff, man. I be watching you guys on Instagram.
Yeah.
You was in Dollywood recently, yeah?
Yeah, we were just in Dollywood.
And in Dollywood, now you're here in Miami, flying back home, being able to do what you guys want and live anywhere and work anywhere. So that's what I love about it. You know, wholesaling.
Awesome.
So now you're here. Thank you for sharing that, Gunnar.
Yeah,
I
bro.
appreciate that,
Yeah,
man.
bro.
Talking about TikTok and the dancing, let's talk to the man,
shit.
the myth, the
True.
legend, JT.
The
guys,
dancing guy,
yeah, if you guys haven't seen his videos, he's probably a better marketer than me when it comes to organic. I be watching his video. I'm like, look at JT move. I watch his videos. You either the producer or the consumer, right? When you're on social media, if you're just watching a bunch of videos, you're doom scrolling, you're the consumer, and you're gonna spend most of the money.
Yeah.
But if you're the producer of social media, you're gonna make most of the money. And this guy, JT, I watch his shit, so I consume his stuff. So JT, who were you?
All right. Yeah, I guess we start from way back. I grew up in a great area, a great neighborhood, a great family, but man, was I fat. I mean, I was huge, really.
Okay.
So all my life growing up, I always thought to myself, like, how do people get Lambos and like all these nice things?
Yeah.
And I would ask my mom, I'm like, Mom, how do I get one of those? She's like, you gotta be rich, honey. You ain't getting that shit. My mom's really country, by the way. But
okay. I can tell by the twang.
Yeah. And so I was like, well, I'm gonna prove her wrong. So in high school, I'm thinking, you know what? I'm gonna go to school. I'm gonna be a financial advisor. I didn't know how much they made, right? So I'd always grown up playing sports. And when I went to high school, again, I was 300 pounds. And I go to high school and I played baseball and football. And my baseball coach came up to me and was like, JT, you're never gonna play here once if you don't lose weight. And I'm like, shit, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna still play. So I didn't lose weight for like a year. Well, I was actually 265 at that time. I didn't play the whole first year. And I got like mentally depressed because I'd always been like a good baseball player. I wanted to play. And no, he didn't play me. And I got like really depressed. So I didn't know this, but I was gaining hella weight. So I went to football practice and we was doing sprints. It was 7 o'clock in the morning. We were doing sprints. I was sweating. So I hadn't eaten. I was sweating. I was drenched in sweat. I mean, so I'm sure I lost like 5 pounds through this. And the coach was like, all right, guys, come weigh in. I'm like, shit, I'm 265. I hadn't weighed in 3 years. I'm like, I'm 265. So I get on that scale and it just starts going. I'm like, holy shit. So it said 298. And so I saw 298 and that was after I'd been sweating. And like everybody was like, yo, JT, you put on them LBs. And I was sitting there thinking like, holy shit, like I'm fat. I gotta change, right?
Yeah.
Instantly. So my mom's fat too. We call ourselves Fat and Happy at the time. So we went to this guy, his name was Basamba, 6'7", African, and like, he did not play. He was 6'7", 270 pounds, rock hard 6-pack, African. And I walk in and my mom's like, hey, look. She said, what's your name? He said, Basamba. He goes, okay, Basambo, listen up. My son is fat as shit. And we got to lose weight. And he's like, I never heard anybody in their life call their son fat before. And I'm like, look, I know I'm fat. I need your help. He goes, okay, I see you tomorrow. I'm like, okay, I'll be here tomorrow. This is like within 2 minutes, I'm like, I don't have a car. I'm 15. He's like, good. I was like, I'll have my grandma come pick me and bring me. He goes, no, you run. So after school, I put on a backpack and I'm running to this joint. I don't know what I'm about to get into. This shit was like a movie, bro. I walk in, he's sitting at his desk like this, like this. He walks in, he's huge, intimidating. And he has a sheet of paper, it looks blank. It's like, it comes like a printer paper, it looks blank. It's printed out. And he looks at me. And he's sitting at his desk with the paper in his hand, like looking at it like he's reading it, but it's blank. I'm like, what the hell is he reading?
Yeah.
I sit down, he puts the paper on the desk, turns it around and slides it across the table. I was like, this is some baller shit. I don't even know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
In like 9-point font, you can barely see it. In the top left corner, it says 5K. I'm like, dude, I've never ran a mile. This is my first time running a mile. I just ran to the place. Like, this is crazy. And so I'm like, 5K? And he goes, yep. Get going. I'm like, okay. So I go outside, I start taking off running. He goes, get back here. I'm like, he was fucking with me. He was joking around.
Yeah.
So I walk back in. He hands me a 45-pound weighted vest and 20-pound dumbbells. And he says, now go. I'm like,
damn.
Are you kidding me?
Damn.
So 2 hours in, I'm like 2 miles in, brother.
Okay.
And he's like, good, you done. I'm like, oh, thank God. I knew I wasn't finishing that because I was literally 2 hours in. So I walk back inside. I think I'm done. He goes, 100 burpees. I'm like, what the? So 100 burpees, 100 jumping jacks, 100 burpees, 100 jumping jacks. And I'm like, brother, what is going on here?
In a boot camp.
Yes.
Military boot camp.
Right.
Damn.
And so I finished the first day and I'm like, hell, I don't want to come back. He goes, I'll see you tomorrow. Every day I did that. I was like, what am I supposed to be eating? He was like, he hands me a sheet of paper. It's got like 5 things on it. So in the morning, I'd wake up, I'd have 1 egg white. But 3 or 4 hours later, I'd have a granola bar. For lunch, I would have 5 ounces of bison and cabbage. For a snack, I'd have a protein shake. And for dinner, I'd have chicken and cabbage every single day for like a year and a half. And after school, every single day, I would run there. So I would run there, work out, go to baseball practice, and then come back and do a weightlifting session. So this is like all my night, entire night.
Damn.
So this goes on for about 2 weeks, and I didn't lose weight for the first week. I was so depressed. Then finally I started losing weight. I'm like, okay, here we go. He says, I see you tomorrow. Just like usual. Every single day he says that. And I'm like, okay, I'll be here. He said, no, 5 a.m. I'm like, what the? So I can't drive. So my mom has to wake up at 4:30. So we drive there at 4:30. He's waiting outside for me, like, shaking his head. I get out of the car. I'm like, what are we doing? He goes, let's go. We start taking off running. And again, I'm 275 at this point.
Okay.
Or I was probably 278 or something like that.
So you lost.
So I lost some weight. I lost like 15 pounds over 2 weeks.
Oh, damn.
Which was probably a lot of water weight. But at the time, I was like, holy shit, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm going, we're running in the morning, and it's 5 a.m. It's like 5:30. We've run 3 miles, and I haven't stopped.
Holy
And I'm
crap.
like, holy shit, I'm actually capable of doing this. Like, this is where my mental state, this all play in the role. This is where my mental state started to change.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm gonna just keep going. Well, it gets about 3.2, 3.3 miles. I'm like, okay, I've worked hard enough. I'm gonna start walking. And so I start walking, and he's behind me. He's like, "Yo, fuck you think you doing?" Comes up behind me, pushes me, and starts sprinting. So I'm having to sprint. He's pushing me like we're running down the road. We get to a portion, it's like the interstate. We're like at the interstate now.
Yeah.
And there's no like sidewalk. It's more like a highway, so I guess.
Okay.
So it's like, there's no sidewalk. So he's like, sprint. We have to get to the next sidewalk. So I'm running on this road for like 10 minutes as fast as I can. I finally get off. It's like an hour and 10 minutes at this point. We run like 7 miles in the morning. We end up back at the gym. And he's like, good job, I see you in the afternoon. So I come back in the afternoon that day. And at the time, I was a freshman, I think, freshman summer. And he said, come in to lift weights after that. So I was like, that's fine, I'll come in and do that. So I walk in. My max bench press was 225, mind you, at the time. And in freshman year, that's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
But I walk in, and he puts 225 in the bar. He's like, we're benching today. He puts 225 in the bar. I'm thinking it's for him. He's like, good, do it. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I can do this. It's my 1 rep. He goes, 10 sets of 10. I'm like, what the?
10 sets of 10?
Yes. So first round, I get like 7. Well, here's the thing. First round, I pick it up off the bar, and I'm already scared. I don't think I can do it. So I'm going down to my chest, and as soon as I went down, he goes, and walked away. Walked back into his office. Leaves me there. I'm like,
No spotter.
no spotter. So I do 7. And then I'm like, I get pinned. And he's in his office. He has a window. He opens up the window. He goes, shuts the window. And so he's leaving me there for do or die.
Yeah.
And so I go, it's pinned like on my chest. And so I'm like, and I get it up. And then I do 2 more. And he's like, see, you quit. I'm like, oh. That was the day my mindset changed. So over the next year and a half, I lost like 120 pounds over that time period. And at that point, my mindset was like, I'm gonna be the greatest thing to ever fucking do this. Still, I didn't know what I was gonna do with my business life at that point. I was like, I want to be a financial advisor. So I'm like, I'm gonna learn how to be a financial advisor. My way to do that was trading options. That's the worst way to do it, by the way.
Okay.
But I start trading options in high school, and I'm trying to flex. I'm trying to be that guy. I start cooking. I start printing money. I'm like, I told y'all I was finna be him. I'm gonna be the best financial advisor in the world. I didn't even know what a financial advisor was.
Okay.
I was going to college for finance. I didn't know what investment banking was at the time. I didn't know anything. I thought financial advisor was the only way. I'm like, I'm about to be the best one in the world. So I start printing money. I'm doing like 5-figure months at like 18. I was feeling great.
Yeah.
You know. And then I lost all of it because I didn't know what I was doing. I got lucky. I got so lucky on my first 5 or 6 plays over the first 2 months. I made a lot of money, lost all of it. I had $212. My girlfriend at the time, she's like, JT, you're never gonna be shit in life if you don't get a real job. And me, I'm in love with this chick. I really am. And so I'm like, she's right. I better go get a job. So I went to Sunglass Hut at the time. Well, no, I got a personal training job. I'm like, I'm never doing this again. Like, this sucks. Like, I don't enjoy this. I'm gonna be an entrepreneur. So I started a personal training company, made about 10 grand. I'm like, this isn't money I wanna be doing yet. So I started a clothing brand. I had no idea about marketing, no idea about business. I was just like hustling. I made $50 at the clothing brand. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Entrepreneurship is hard.
Yes. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? I was like, she was right. I just gotta be a financial advisor. So I go to college and I was like, I've gotta learn how to invest. Because I'm thinking financial advisor still. I gotta learn how to invest. I lost all my money in the stock market at this point. I'm like, what do I do? Like, how do I actually invest? I'm like, I want to invest in real estate. It's the only thing that's tangible.
Yeah.
It's the only thing I can go grab, and it's the only thing I can get tax benefits, equity, and cash flow with. I was like, this is what I want. I want to do real estate. So my goal was like, I'm gonna be a real estate agent. I'm gonna try and do sales and wholesale and make some money.
Yeah.
Well, at this time, I have like $100 in my bank account. And so I don't have money to get licensed. I don't have money to do anything. Like, so.
Not even a mentor.
No.
Yeah.
So I get my licenses. So I get a loan from my grandpa for my licenses. And then I was like, I had a girlfriend at the time. This is a new girlfriend, not the one who said ain't gonna be shit, right?
Okay.
New girlfriend at the time, incredible woman. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna marry her. So I go out and make a custom ring. Brother, this thing is beautiful. I'm talking fat diamond, everything. Bro, I got $100 in my bank account. I'm like, Klarna. You know what I'm saying? 6 months interest free, really. And so I was like, I gotta figure this out. So I'm like probably 15K. I don't know exactly. In total, I'm probably 30K in debt at this point.
With $100 in your bank account?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And the ring was a huge portion of it. I'm like, and my mom, she's like, JT, you got to pay for this, you know? I'm like, no, don't worry, I got this shit, you know?
Yeah.
And so every day for 4 months, from 8 a.m. to like 5 or 6 p.m., I was cold calling for listings, for wholesale, for anything I could to get my feet in the water in real estate to make some money. I'm in college at this time. I'm thinking, if this don't work, I'm screwed because I want to get a Lambo and financial advisors make $90,000 a year, and I'm gonna be saving up $20,000 living poor, really, for 20 years to be able to even afford a Lambo. So that's my thought process. I'm like, I've got to make this real estate thing work. I got to start investing. So here I am, cold calling for 8 hours a day for 4 months. And do you want to know how much money I made in 4 months?
How much?
Take a guess.
Wholesaling? Or list?
Both.
20 grand.
Zero. I made $0.
Damn.
I'm like, brother, when is this shit gonna work?
Okay.
Like, I put in so much work. I see all these other people doing it.
Yeah.
And I can't make anything happen. From month 5 through month 10, I made 120 bands. And I'm like, oh, hell yeah. I'm like, this is it. So I stopped doing real estate agent work. I still do a little bit of it. And I just started wholesaling. And I want to start buying rentals. So I said, I'm going to go start buying rental properties. And so in person, I wanted to buy rentals, and I kept putting stuff under contract, but I was a wholesaler. I kept putting stuff under contract for me to buy, and they were home run deals, dude. And I'd be like, yeah, these numbers don't work for me. I can't buy it. I was just scared, right?
Yeah.
And so I would wholesale it. And so I would be making money. I'd be making 20, 30K every now and then. And I was like, you know, I think I'm actually ready to start buying. So what I did, I went and tried to find a mentor. Actually, what I did was I was trying to find a mentor, so I put on my Facebook page, I was like, yo, does anyone want to meet for coffee? And this random guy, I never heard of him in my life, was like, yo, I'll meet you for coffee. And I was like, okay, never heard of him, don't know anything about him. And his name's Jason McDaniel. He changed my life at this moment. And so I meet him for coffee at First Watch. I don't know if y'all have those. But I meet him for coffee at First Watch. And I'm sitting there. I have no idea who he is. I don't know if he's in real estate. I don't know anything about this guy. And he walks in, and he is like 40, and he's got this 22-year-old girlfriend with this like little pup, and they come in like looking cute as hell. I meet him. Dude, we hit it off like that. And he tells me he's in real estate. He actually started, so I'm from Knoxville, obviously, and he started the Knoxville real estate meetup there with a partner. And so I knew the partner, but I didn't know him. I'm like, where have you been all these years? He's like, oh, bro, I just live out of the country. I've been living in Poland and Bali. He just lives wherever he wants off of his rentals. And he has like 80 rentals, and all of them are seller financed. all of them, and massive cash flow. He does refinances, of course, to get his equity out, but they all start off as seller finance. So I meet him, we hit it off at dinner. He's like, yo, bro, come driving for dollars with me one day. This is free, right? So I go driving for dollars with him one day. I don't really know what I'm doing in terms of buying my own rentals. I take that back. I did so much research and have worked in real estate so much. I knew what I was doing in buying rentals, but I'd never done it myself. I was so scared.
Yeah.
So he was like, you know what? We went driving for dollars, and then I kept wholesaling. I never bought a property. And he was like, JT, you want to keep working with me? Pay me 5 bands. I'm like, okay. Pay him 5 bands. Next day, I call a property. It was a single family home. I called them, and they're a foreign couple, and they were like, we want 350. And I'm like, you're hilarious. That place is a shitter.
Yeah.
Right? And I go, yeah, I don't want it. Well, wait, hold on. Before you go, do you have anything else you want to sell? And they're like, yeah, but if you don't want to pay 350 for this one, you won't want to pay 350 for that one. And I said, well, will you tell me about what it is? And they're like, yeah. And they're like, it's a quadplex. And I'm like, you were trying to charge me $350 for a single family, and now you want to say $350 for a quadplex.
Damn.
I'm like, I'd be interested in that. So I met them at the property the next day. And it wasn't a quadplex. It was just 4 units right next to each other. So 4 units right next to each other, package portfolio that they just want to sell to me. And I was like, done deal. I'll buy it. I was like, done. I didn't, and this was $350,000.
How much you had?
I had like 70 bands at the time. So, or I had 60 bands, and I needed 70,000 to close.
Yeah.
I'm like, how am I gonna get this money? Because I put under contract, and I was supposed to close ASAP. I'm like, how am I gonna get this money? I didn't know what to ask for. I didn't ask for leases, I didn't ask for nothing until like right before closing. So I go out and I'm trying to find this money. Dude, I called like 3 people, and the second guy I called was like, yeah, I'll give it to you. So he gives me the money to go put the down payment, and we just split profits 50-50. And I'm like, this is awesome, but I didn't know what I was doing. This guy just trusted me blindly. So I bought these properties and found out they were on Section 8. And my mentor was like, JT, you got to get them off Section 8. We don't want Section 8. Nobody likes Section 8, yada, yada, yada. Right? So I am like, I'm going to get these guys out of here soon. I don't want to buy Section 8. I didn't even know what it was. I always thought it was cool because of the guaranteed cash flow. So I go set myself up. The lease is like 6 more months. So I go set myself up at the housing authority and to get monthly deposits. And man, they started coming in with those monthly deposits, and I'm like, and I didn't have to talk to a tenant. I didn't have to ask them nothing. I didn't have to get their payments. I didn't have to get checks because these are lower income people. So you got to get checks. They don't be doing like the the payment portal stuff, right? So I was like, dude, Section 8's beautiful. This is all I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
So then I ended up buying like 5 more the next month, and then I was like, yeah, I'm in love with this. And my mentor, his partner, ended up buying like a 50-unit portfolio of Section 8 rental, or a 50-unit apartment complex of Section 8 rentals. And he's like, damn, this cash flow is nice. And so he like changed his perspective on the idea too. Yeah, so then that's how I got into that, and that's where we are today.
Damn, boom. Thank you, dude. Guys, that was a great story. He all the way from A to Z, from a fat guy all the way down to actually owning a nice portfolio of Section 8 rentals. That's what I'm talking about. And that's what I think entrepreneur can do for you. I always tell everybody that want to hop into entrepreneurship, I tell them it's a cult. I say entrepreneurship is a cult. And they're like, man, what do you mean? And I'm like, dude, because all entrepreneurship is like, you get around people with the same beliefs as you, and everybody believes they're gonna make it. Everybody believes they're gonna make a lot of money. None of this shit actually works how you plan on making it works, right? So it's just a big fad, and like the people that actually stick into it, like they eventually make money.
Yeah.
Like you fall sometimes, but like they say, the road to success is paved with failures.
You fail so many times, and it feels like it's never gonna work.
Yeah,
you know?
dude. And then even when you start to succeed, you still fail trying to scale it up. Like, dude, you fail so many times, but that's when you actually start to grow and do some things. Like I was listening to this book on the way over here, Ego is the Enemy. I don't know if you guys.
Dude, I love that.
I love that book. And then when they was talking about the lady when Graham, I think that was her name, when she took over the Washington Post, how everything started to tank on her and everything went bad, but she stayed in and she kept her head strong and she just kept going and she scaled it up, and it was one of the biggest, Washington Post. And I was like, damn, when I was listening to her story, I was trying to go to sleep, but I'm like, I can't go to sleep because it was so intriguing. I had it on Audible, and I'm like, this is what I'm talking about. That's awesome. And I'm like, all of my trials and tribulations as far as in entrepreneurship, from me scaling the company up, from me watching helping wholesalers, helping e-com businesses, I'm like, man, everybody's gonna fail. It's just how you fail
Yeah.
and, you know, when you're going to fail, but you're going to fail 100%.
Right.
So that's why I tell everybody entrepreneurship is a code. All right, guys, so we talked about the backstory. So let's talk about some real estate. Let's give these guys some gems. Guys, we're going to get into the really good stuff.
Yeah.
So if you guys are starting off now and you were to say you're starting off new, you had money in your pocket, you got a mentor and everything, outbound or inbound? Inbound, okay.
100%.
Well, how much money? Like, how much money are we saying? Are we saying like at least 6 months reserves?
15 grand.
15 grand. I'm doing a diverse portfolio.
Okay, outbound and inbound.
And I want to hear your opinion on this.
Okay.
But we have VAs, like call center, and we have inbound.
Okay.
They both serve their purpose. I believe that honestly, the better deals are inbound leads.
Yeah.
But for me, they take longer to nurture.
Yeah.
And they do have bigger. They usually have bigger spreads.
Yeah.
But they take longer to nurture, and they take a higher level of skill and systems. You have to have systems in place.
I like that.
You know, usually when you're doing outbound, you're catching people at the right place, right time. All you have to do is close them.
Yeah.
You know, on the other hand, people that are doing inbound are usually testing the waters. Hey, how much can I get for my house? Or, you know, I want to sell, but I don't know how I'm going to sell it, right? You're not necessarily at the right place at the right time. They're just feeling it out.
Yeah.
So whenever you get those inbound leads, if you have the systems and you have the salespeople and you have the ability to close them,
Yeah.
I believe it's a much better,
Yeah.
you know, avenue. But if you're, but I supplement that with outbound cold call center, because those guys are sending me leads every single day that people are like, yeah, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
You know, and the people that don't even know they're ready to sell, maybe they have an inherited property, they don't even think about it, and then they're just like, yeah, I'll sell that. Well, how much you want to give me? 100,000. Deal. Done. Those are the kind of inbound or outbound leads we're making.
Okay, I like that. What about you?
I 100% agree. And especially it comes from seeing it at scale. Working for the company that did $3.5 million a year.
Yeah.
They were running TV ads, like PPC, Facebook ads, like all these inbound sources. And our biggest deals were from texting. And I was like, I was thinking, like being
Inbound.
in the company is like, oh, these TV ads, like people see them on commercials.
Yeah.
Oh, these are the hottest leads. But they were the biggest deals.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like the volume that we were getting for them to do $3.5 million, dude, texting was their bread and butter. So leaving the company, once I left, I was like, I have to jump into inbound because I know they're the hottest.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm going to supplement it with texting.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And dude, I didn't get the same results.
Yeah.
Because that's when all the regulations
I was
started
just gonna
getting
say,
hit
I
on
was
texting.
I was gonna say, what about the regulations? So you usually go
it
into
was, man, I mean, you get hit with a ton of regulations. And right now, inbound is like my best lead source. And so, yeah.
Dude, 100%. And that's what I was gonna ask you, as far as like all the regulations and call, because we even get, and people opt in. Like even sometimes, like they'll opt in if something ain't set up right. You know what I mean? It'll actually kick back, and you know once you're doing, you know, we get like thousands of leads a month, and you get that many leads. You know what I mean? You got to make sure everything is compliant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So far as in with cold calling and doing that much volume, like is there much like compliance that you run into, or
Well,
no?
with the cold calls, I train the team specifically to be incredibly nice and friendly. We don't even play hardball. We do not even try hardball until we're to the acquisition stage. Because the friendly aspect, if they're like, oh, I'm on the do not call list, why are you calling me? Oh, I'm so sorry, ma'am. Really, I didn't mean to bug you. We'll take you off that right now.
Yeah.
They never report you because we're not trying to harass them, right? We're trying to help people who want to actually sell.
Yeah.
So when we're calling them, as long as we're nice, we've never had an issue. And then once the people get to the next stage of acquisitions, that's when if they want to play games or if they want to really negotiate hard, we're gonna play good cop, bad cop. Of course, we're gonna come in very respectful. But if they want to start playing the game, we're gonna play it back.
Then the sales got to kick in. Okay, so you recommend? Let's say if I'm just now starting out, hit the phones.
Yes, I think it's important to learn how to be on the phones.
100%.
Because
you got to get hung up a couple times.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because even with inbound, you're going to get hung up on.
Yeah.
And if you're spending, I think a good spend is at least $3K a month. I would say
Makes
probably
sense.
$5.
Yeah.
But I think a good spend is say at $5K a month. If you're spending $5,000 a month and you've never cold called and you've never been hung up on and you've never been cussed out, you're going to lose every single one of those leads and you're going to drain $5,000. So I think
every month.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think, 3 months of calling and doing acquisitions, or if you already have done acquisition control, you know how to implement it, that's fine. but I think it's very important to cold call first and be able to know how to close the deal.
So, and I'm gonna let you go because I know you guys have to say on that as well.
Yeah.
So I'm the same way. So my fiance, she's got a realtor license.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm a marketer.
Yeah.
So she's like, oh yes, man, my fiance, he's a marketer. I'm gonna get all these leads. That's what she's telling me about it in the office. So she come back like, Courtney, I'm ready to go, man. Give me some leads. I'm like, all right, cold call. When she closed her first deal, cold call, and then I'll give you the lead.
Yeah.
And she's like, what? No. So she started cold calling. She realized like, okay, that's why you want me to cold call first. So I can get hung up. She had her first no, and she was like, it wasn't that bad.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, her first guy just spazzed out on her and hung up the phone. Say, don't call me, all of this.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, it's really not that bad.
The first call's the worst.
Yeah. But once you take it, like, all right, I don't want to get mine. So, like, some people hate rejection. Like me, I love it. But that's sales.
I mean, to touch on that too, it's like, you got to think, if you're just starting out and you don't have any experience and you're getting inbound leads, like, those are the hottest leads, and they're not going to want to deal with somebody who doesn't know how to talk on the phone.
Yeah. Okay.
So at the same time, like, you might get cussed out, but if you don't know how to talk to that seller that's from an inbound source, they're not going to want to deal with you anyways.
100%.
So you gotta sound professional, number one.
Yeah.
And you gotta sound like you know what you're talking about.
Exactly. And the one lady that was in you guys' program, Angel.
Yeah.
So we were giving a free lead. So we gave her a free lead.
Shout out Angel.
Yeah, shout out Angel.
Angel's awesome.
She just got in an accident. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hope she's well. And I got a motorcycle. So I saw her in an accident.
Yes,
I went and got a motorcycle the next day.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, I went and got a Harley. I was like, I don't know what's wrong with me.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen people break their bones and stuff on bulls. I'm like, I want to ride
Of
one now.
course you have.
Yeah, like I want to ride one now. I'm like, it's like I'm addicted to danger at this point.
Don't foreshadow that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You're right. Okay. But so I saw her, and she's really, I don't know where she started. I don't know her background, but I'm on the calls, dude. I like really doing those live calls we do in the Discord community, because I'm seeing her talk to a lead, and the lead's like, hey, probably somebody else filled it out. Take me off the list. Stop calling me. Don't call me. I don't want anybody getting the information. And the way she's handling it, 10 minutes in, the lady, she's talking about price. She's saying why you want to sell. She's talking about the condition. And I'm like, a new person would have hung up the phone and not even kept trying to go. And all Angel was like, let me put you on mute. I'm trying to get you the information over. She put it on mute, like, I'm going to get this. And all she was saying was like, I'm going to get her. I'm going to get her. And we're sitting back like, I'm intrigued. It's like a movie. I'm like, get her. You know, and everybody in there like, get her. And she,
Where's the popcorn?
We're like, where's the popcorn? Where's the Doritos? And she eventually gets her, and I'm like, and I think she had ended up getting it under contract, and I'm like, that's what I'm talking about, because you need that. I don't know what's her background from, but she stayed in the pocket.
Yeah.
So and the best way to learn to stay in the pocket is actually cold calling or text or some outbound.
She's extremely intelligent and talented. She has a background in like acquisitions, but it's not a sales. So she comes in there with great rapport building, and I think that does really well for her. She's awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
She's cool. She's really cool. She's actually from my town that I went to high school in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that. That's so cool, man.
So me and Hannah are gonna go grab coffee with her one day.
Okay,
Hang out with her. She's awesome.
Yeah, dude.
She's a really good client of ours.
Yeah. I seen the way she handled the calls. I'm like, dude, she's really good at it. Far as with me being a lead generation company.
Yeah.
I will want people like that on the opposite side of my leads.
Exactly.
Because here's what happened. When you're a lead generation company, if you get shit people, like not good sales guys on your call, like on your leads are shit.
Exactly.
But if you get great people on the end of the call, now your leads are fucking gold.
Yeah.
It's all about the person that's on there. And I was on Eric Klein podcast, and what thing he was saying is, it's not the leads, it's you. So no matter if you do cold calling, no matter if you do, text blast, no matter what it is, it's never the leads, it's you.
Yeah.
Like you got a home, you're going to eventually sell it. You're in a distressed situation. You're gonna sell me that property, and I'm gonna be the one to sell the property. Like I had one of the guys from the Discord community. He called me. He was like, "Yeah, man, Courtney, I got this lead. It's a really good lead. I went out to the property." I'm like, "All right, dude, go lock it up." He's like, "Yeah, I'm going out there tomorrow." I'm like, "You probably want to try to get a one call close."
Yeah.
The dude was super motivated.
Yeah.
Health issues, wanted to sell, wanted to get out of it ASAP, and everything. 800,000. He's in like Mass, so it's like the property values are way higher. And he's like, he went out to the property. I'm like, did you get him under contract? He's like, nah, I told him give me a day, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, come on, dude, you got to get it under contract.
No, you have to.
You got to get it under contract. And
Speed
he's like, yeah, man, but he's kind of like, I don't think he understands the ropes just yet. Yeah. But let's say I think he's a smart guy, so he's not going to say this. But a newbie or somebody that don't know what they're actually doing to say, hey, that's a shit lead. The guy has health issues. He actually want to sell the property. He want to sell it like, he's like, dude, I want to sell this thing literally in 2 weeks. If you can give me the money in 2 weeks, I'll sell it to you.
Yeah.
So this guy's super motivated, but let's say he don't lock the deal up. That's a good contract. Even when I was saying he should get under contract, you was like, hell, what? Come on. Because you know, like, one call closes. Because if not, I told him, I was like, dude, if you don't lock that lead up this week, he going to fill out somebody else for him.
Speed kills.
Because he have to go and sell that thing in 2 weeks. If you're the only person you think no, bro, he's shopping around. Or anybody else. And somebody going to come in and offer him right there on the spot and try to one call close him and be like you said, bad guy and good guy. Like, hey, man, dude, I got to fix this up. I got to do this. I got to do this. I can give you cash at 600. Or, you know, we can list it for you at 700, you know, or whatever the case may be, whatever the numbers were. Yeah. But he was kind of pussyfooting around it. So far as in me being a lead generation company, I need people like Angel on the other end of those calls, or like Sean, or like Eric, and the guys that actually know sales, because, dude, they make me look good.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Or like Gunnar, like you guys make me look good, because you guys can go in and close. Yeah. But if you get somebody that don't know how to close, it makes me look bad.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that's why we changed up our whole process. Now we like, how good are you? And I'll take the calls with you to see if you're really good at sales. Yeah. Just make me look good.
That's what I notice a lot of people in your community, and not to call anybody out or anything, but like a lot of the people think that like they have time. They have time to just like talk to this lead and be like, oh, I'll come out there next Thursday. I'll come out there next week when you're available. Like, no, you gotta act now, dude, because speed to lead is so important. And if that person is like, hey, I need to sell right now, you better have an offer, put them on hold, and go like create an offer, do what you have to do to make sure like the numbers make sense. Yeah. I mean, obviously don't get anything under contract if it doesn't make sense. Right. But at the same time, like if it makes sense, he's motivated, put them on hold, don't let them off the phone, don't even give them a call back, because with Facebook specifically, I mean, they can scroll, see somebody else's. They're not just going to your app.
Yeah, exactly. And I try to tell everybody that, like, you want to opt for on like one call closes. Yeah. I was talking to Sean, he's like, dude, 60 to 80% of our deals are one call closes. Yeah. But then you look at them, they're doing like 68 deals, like 68 contracts a month.
You got to have that urgency.
And you got to have that. And it's like, all right, we're making big spreads. And, you know, not all of them close, but dude, them guys are making fucking killer. And they're super profitable. Yeah. You know, because it's like, I'll get you on this phone and put you on hold. Like, I seen you work on the call. Like, even that one late night, 9 p.m., 10 p.m. call, you and Kevin. And we're like, dude, close one call, close this guy. And you guys got him to sign the contract there. Right? And I'm like,
don't let him off the phone.
Don't let him off the phone. Can't. They get off the phone, they get in there on, dude, I sell, okay. I really want to sell for this much. Somebody probably can give me 10K more, you know, or 20K more, because that's all it takes. Yeah. I told him, I was like, dude, somebody could just go and offer him $5,000 more than you're offering. You know what I mean? And he didn't sign your contract yet. And they offer him $5,000 more. He's in a distressed situation. $5,000 is probably a lot to him. You know, so lock it up. And I tell him now, like, all right, do you actually want to help people, or you want to make money? You know what I mean? Because you get some slimy people in this industry. That's some real slimes.
I learned that the hard way. And I had a deal. It was like a $40K assignment fee. And I had not trained my acquisitions guys well enough at the time to be like, well, these were all independent contractors. I have W-2 employees now, but I didn't train them well enough to the time to be like, look, if they're on the phone, you have to close them if they're motivated. This woman's like, yeah, I'll sell it for $10,000. Dude, I'm like, lock it up. They're like, oh, we'll call her back. My other wholesaler in my city, he's way bigger than us. He goes, just got it for 11. And it was like a $29,000 spread or whatever it was then. And he sold it to my friend who I knew exactly who would buy it. But that's the point. But I learned that the hard way. And so now me and Gunnar have a home run deal right now down in Louisiana. And the way I got it was we cold called the woman. I think she was a long, long time ago text ad. And we called her and she's like, yeah, I'm already working with a guy. We actually talked yesterday. He gave me an offer on my property. This happened like 2 weeks ago. He gave me an offer on my property at $75,000, and I think he's gonna go find an in buyer for it. I said, oh, okay, yeah, that's completely fine. Let me ask you this: have you signed a contract? She's like, no. And I was like, oh, you didn't sign like any contract? She was like, no, but he's out, he's marketing it and everything. I saw it on Facebook and all yesterday. I'm like, but you didn't sign a contract. She's like, no. She's like, how much did he say he'd pay you? She's like, $75,000. I was like, don't worry, we'll give you $75,500. She was like, okay. Sent her the contract, locked it up, signed. And he had no equitable interest because he had no contract signed.
Like literally. So that's why you should lock it up. Like he was probably.
You have to.
And what's the projected spread on that?
35 or something like that. Yeah.
So like him, it's like he was projected like 35 as well. He just lost 35,000 because he didn't
but in
get
the
him
middle of nowhere, Louisiana.
Yeah.
Really?
That's the thing.
He doesn't. And the thing was so he sent her like a business card, and I like looked him up. Like I skip traced him and like found all of his information. and he was like 21 years old. He had 3 partners, 19, 21, and 20. And they were like posting it on Facebook, like just on their Facebook page, didn't post it in groups or anything like that.
No marketplace?
No marketplace. So he had no experience doing it. But when I close this deal, I'm going to call him and be like, look, brother, this should be a learning experience for you because you just lost 30 bands.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm going
kind of like that guy did you.
Yes.
Yeah, I got it for 11.
Exactly.
And then sold it to the guy you was going to sell it to.
Exactly.
Kind of like, let me teach you something.
Exactly.
Yeah. $30,000.
It will help
a $30,000 lesson. Oh, 100%. $30,000 lesson. They probably was already like, oh yeah, we're going to make all this money.
Yeah.
They was already counting.
Yeah,
we're going to do this. We're going to scale this thing up. Get a Rolex, get a Lamborghini, rent one in Miami or something for the weekend.
Like us. No, I'm kidding.
No. So let's take it there because I know you guys did your thing. And Gunnar, you did something very interesting, man, when you started. I know you said you started making money. You went on like a spree.
Yeah.
And then you came back, like talk to us through that. Because I think a lot of guys saying, because there's a $20K assignment fee. Most guys, like your background, poor, you didn't have no money. So you're going to make $20K, hit that wire hit, or you pick up that check and you're like, I got 20 bands.
Yeah.
So man, I know the best way to learn is from your own experience, but even better way to learn from the experience of other people.
Yeah.
So talk to these new wholesalers, man, when they get that first check, man, what not to do.
Yeah.
What did you do?
So what I did was just a little backstory on that was I was working for that company. I had a base salary and I was making 5% commission. Okay. But since I was top sales and like I was crushing it, like I was having at least 5 to 7 closings a month with that company. But I was only making 5%, but I was making anywhere from like $8,000 to $10,000 a month, okay? But regardless, I had that base payment to like help me if like anything happened. Yeah. So I would blow that money a little bit too, but it wasn't like enough to where I was like, oh yeah, I'm like balling, right? Because there would be some months I'd make money, some months I wouldn't.
Yeah.
But then after I left and I hopped on with you, I think I hopped on in February, and then my first deal was a $30,000 assignment fee. And I was like, holy shit, bro. Like, this is huge.
Yeah.
Like 30 grand straight to your account. I was going down to Florida to watch my fiance cheer.
At the cheerleader, yeah, I remember that.
And $30,000 hits my account. I'm like, oh my gosh, man, this is awesome. So, I mean, we start partying, we get cigars, we have fun, and we start spending money on like stupid stuff, like stuff we don't need.
Okay.
And so after the first closing, I had another one the next month, another 20K. So now I'm at like 45K. And then I have another one the next month. It's like another 15K. So I'm like, dude, I'm making so much money.
Yeah.
It's like
more money than I've seen before.
I haven't even hit 6 figures yet, but I'm like, I'm close. And then August, I closed my first novation. It was another 30K, hit 6 figures. And I was like, dude, I'm going to buy a Rolex. So I actually met a watch guy in Miami. And he was like, yeah, if you ever need a watch, like hit me up. So I hit him up. And it was like $3,500 for this Rolex. I don't know anything about watches. So I wire him $3,500. He sends me the watch. Like, I don't have any receipts or anything. So I'm like, oh, this is sick. And then one of my buddies is like, you got receipts though, right? Like, you got like the stuff. And I was like, no. Yeah. I don't have anything. He was like, bro, you probably got scammed, dude. And I was talking to JT.
Yeah, I was that buddy.
Okay. Oh, you was the buddy to tell you probably got scammed? Okay.
JT's like, you probably got scammed, bro. So I'm like, I don't care, bro. I have a Rolex. Like, it might be fake. That's why I don't wear it, like, anywhere, because I'm like, dude, it might be fake. Like,
okay, so you don't know. Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, you can take it to, like, an authorized dealer and just ask them.
Yeah,
like,
I could.
Okay,
I could,
yeah.
But they're the only authorized dealers down here in Miami. I'm definitely not wearing it down here in Miami. Because like, if I get called out for it, like, that's besides the point. I started, like, me and Hannah started taking all these trips and, like, spending money everywhere, bro. Like, and by the time it's, like, November of 2023, I'm broke. And I'm like, dude, what do I do?
Really? So 6 figures. You blew 6 figures.
I blew 6 figures like that, bro. Like,
Damn.
It's so easy to spend that much money.
Yeah,
it's so easy, bro.
Dude.
And on top of, I mean, I was buying education too.
Okay.
I bought a course.
Okay.
That I eventually regretted buying.
Yeah.
But I thought I was gonna like start buying these Section 8 houses and all this stuff I was gonna get in Section 8. Got scammed out of a contractor deal, so like. Yeah. I ended up blowing a lot of money, but I mean, some of it was good, some of it was just like
pleasure.
And
Yeah,
all,
yeah.
But I don't regret any of it because it was a big learning experience.
Okay, I like that.
Luckily, Gunnar met me though, because now he can actually buy Section 8. And not good. Yeah.
Yeah, I can scam.
So then I call you and I'm like, dude, what do I do, man?
Yeah.
What do I do? He was like, all right, we start planning stuff out. Like, let's get your ad spin to this, get this.
Yeah.
I ended up closing on a mobile home park. And
the park or the
actual park.
Okay.
I closed on a mobile home park.
Yeah,
it was a $60,000 spread, but we had two partners on it. So it was me, my partner at the time, and then another guy. So
Okay.
it was like a daisy chain sort of situation. So we all made 20 grand, and this is like right before Christmas. I did another novation with Novation King, made 12 grand on that. So I had like 32 grand coming into the new year. And I was like, man,
You're not going back there.
yeah, I'm not going back there. So I started getting into like putting it all into marketing. Didn't want to do any like pleasure stuff, things like that.
Really?
Ended up buying my fiance a ring, though, a nice ring.
Yeah.
Proposed to her.
Awesome.
And
Yeah.
so yeah, I mean, things this year, it's been a complete change,
It's been-
especially since meeting JT. Like,
Yeah.
we're scaling the wholesaling business to tens of millions.
Let's go, guys. You see that, guys? When you close that deal, do not go and spend the money, or do it so you can learn from it. Whatever you want to.
Have fun, but be smart.
Have fun. But I like that. I really like that a lot, dude. Kind of like with me, dude. When I started to make millions, I was spending millions. I was like, shit. All right, dude. I should probably stop doing this. When I was making money, dude, I was like, I'm flying my team to Europe. I'm flying them to South America, dude. I was making so much, man, dude. Then I came back. I got the bill, and I was looking at the bill. My CPA sent me over everything. I'm like, how much money I spent? Dude, I spent like 200 grand in like 1 month. But we were staying in like 5-star hotels, the biggest Airbnbs, videographers and everything. I'm like, man, I spent 200 grand in like 1 month. This is crazy. And I was like, I'm glad I was able to do that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't regret it.
You can. I'm like, dude, the experiences I got
learn,
from
though.
it.
You know, you learn, though.
Yeah. Now, and I kind of, I set myself up. Dude, I can't. Like, dude, since I've flown first class, I gotta fly first class.
Yeah.
You know what I
Only
mean?
fly first class?
Oh shit, no. But yeah, but like now, that was like 2 weeks ago when I was going to Wyoming with Jay.
Yeah.
So I got a first class, and I was like, all right. And I flew first class here, and I'm flying back, and I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm never not getting first class.
Me and JT,
We were debating. we were wondering if you would fly only first class. Like we were talking about that. You think he's flying
last
first class
night, we
here?
were talking
Yeah.
last night. I was like, I wonder if he's flying first class.
Yeah, dude, I had to, because when I first sat in, and I was like, it's a different experience. Same thing with like me staying in like 5-star hotels.
Yeah.
Like now when my assistant booked me a hotel, I tell her I only want the best hotels.
Yeah.
Because the experience, so I gotta make money.
You start getting a little bougie.
You everybody make fun of me. So when I had got my first nice watch, I was in Switzerland. Wow. So when I got my first nice watch, it was like 12,000.
What'd you get?
Actually forgot. I had got the Cartier. I was telling you about. So I got that one, but I don't wear it. And I got a nice Aries watch, and it's like $300, dude. And I love that watch more. And I got this nice Cartier. I love it. It's sleek, super nice, and stuff like that. But I rarely wear it.
You know my birthday's next month, right?
Yeah, I know. I got you. I'm gonna send you a $1,000 Cartier. I ain't gonna see you no receipts with it.
So you get the one off of DHK.
Not again, bro.
Yeah. No, but I think you got to go through those experiences.
Yeah.
Because I think when you're poor, you want to spend money. When you make the money, then you spend it, you go back poor again.
Yeah.
Almost kind of. You know what I mean? Or you get to rock bottom and you realize, like, all right, let me do shit different.
Yeah.
Same thing we were talking about before we started the podcast about the hiring situation, like keeping people on for a long period of time. You know, and I was like, man, dude, I lost like $300K the beginning of the quarter just for keeping shit talent just because.
Yeah.
As an entrepreneur, as a business owner, as you guys know, you hire people. You're like responsible for their food, their rent, their mortgage.
Yeah.
So when you fire somebody,
You gotta make payment, brother.
Yeah. They have to do that. So you're like, I'm making payment. I'm like, dude, I don't want to let this person go because they're relying on me to take care of them.
Yeah.
Almost like, and just imagine having 20 of that, 20 different personalities. I used to tell everybody I'm like 20 different relationships.
Yeah.
Because I'm paying for 20 different, and I was like, this is the most stressful thing I ever had to do. But letting them go, it was painful. But dude, the level of relief, I'm like.
Bro, I'm so glad you brought that up because my biggest weak point, and me and JT noticed this, my biggest weak point in business is hiring people.
Yeah.
Like I'm not the best at it. That's where JT is like, that's his strong suit. He's very good at building team morale and all that stuff.
Ooh, I like that.
So that's how we complement each other. Like I'm really good on the back end, like the operations, things like that. I'm really good at sales too.
Okay.
I think me and JT both complement each other with sales. But at the same time, like JT, like when it comes to hiring, this guy, like he knows what it's about.
And that's because I failed so many times, dude. I made so many bad hires. The interview process sucked. I was like, oh, they seem sweet. I'm gonna hire them.
Yeah.
And that's like, and you feel bad like telling somebody no because they're looking to
for a job.
Yes, they're looking to provide for their family.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who aren't looking for a job who I'm like, bro, what are you doing? You need a job, right?
Yeah.
But like they're coming to me for a job. I'm like, dang, I want to hire you, but I can't. And so like for my first like 6 hires, let me think, probably 7. They were all dog shit.
Dude,
all of them.
My first 20, 30
Yeah.
hires with dog shit. You learn quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It took me a long
I
time.
think it's something everybody has to go through.
You do.
Everybody
Oh,
has
yeah.
to go through it.
You can't buy a course for that. You know
can't.
what I mean? Like you gotta just hire somebody and figure it out.
They have to fit into company culture. They have
Yeah.
to match the work ethic. And
Yeah.
it's like you can't, like, you don't know what that is until you have employees.
Dude, me recognizing like A players is once I seen someone be an
Yes,
A player.
that's it.
Like once I like this is what it takes to be an A player. I'm like, I want everybody to be like this person. And I had, which is here's also learning experience too. I had a C player over an A player.
Oh, yeah.
And this C player was like limiting the A. As soon as I got rid of that C player, dude,
Took off.
profit took off, company systems, everything. And I'm like, you should have been in this position the whole time.
No way.
Yeah. So, and I was like, never making that mistake again. If you're not having these characteristics of this same person, because I can say you can try to have my characteristics, which is going to be fucking hard to find.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, okay, this guy screams a lot, and I get up and say this, but work ethic wise and how much you actually care. And one thing I will say this: if you guys are thinking about hiring, I used to always hire people, and they want to come in, make some money, and leave. They ain't never just for the dollar. I don't even like those people. How long you plan on being with the company?
That's it. I always ask that.
If you're not planning on being in for like 10, 15 years, dude, I won't even touch you. You know what I mean? Like, okay, yeah, it's not even worth it. Oh, yeah, I'm just coming in, get my sales up and go and do my own thing. Yeah, I don't even want you.
A portion of that for me that has helped me is equity. So like promising like if you stay for a certain amount of time and you produce this much, you'll get a sliver. Not a very large sliver, right?
Yeah.
But giving them that ownership feel has like completely changed the game, because now they're like, dude, this is my employees. They come in, they're like, dude, I can't wait for in 10 years when we're getting some of this profit. You know, that's like they come in there with that mindset. And even in the Philippines with the call center, I hired one VA. I hired her on live stream, dude. There was like 300 people watching on live stream. They're like, oh my God, this is the best VA I ever had. Hired her on spot. Now, every day, she sends me everybody's results. She's like, JT, I have a new employee for you to look at. So we go in, we interviewed them together. She's like, I'll train them. I already made all your SOPs. I already made all your training videos.
Yeah.
I'll send that all to them. I'll train them. We'll get them on the team. So like, she came in here and fully transformed the business. Now, when we get this call center massive, she's gonna have equity in the call center because that means she'll want to run the whole thing.
Yeah,
You know?
literally, dude. And I
Yeah.
like that's a mistake. I would say with hiring guys, I fell on my ass a lot.
Yeah.
Man.
What defines an A player for you?
Man, A player for me, dude, work ethic for sure.
That's it, yeah.
Like I want somebody to want it as bad as me.
Yeah.
Like by you being like everybody got the Superman complex, right? It's your company, it's your baby, so you want to take control of everything, right?
Yeah.
But when you meet somebody else just want it as bad as you for the company, just because, and they don't have equitable interest, and it's like, okay, I want to get equitable interest, like I want to be
Yes.
here for a long time, and they want it just as bad as you. Sometimes fucking this girl I'm talking about wanted more than me. You know what I mean? I'm like, hold up, you want more for the
Yeah,
company than
yeah,
I want for the
yeah.
company, you know what I mean? Like, hey, Courtney, how we gonna scale this thing up? All right, let's make sure we don't lose any clients. What can we do? Let's do this. And I got like two, like my assistant,
love that.
she's really good too. She's like, hey, let's send out gifts. Let's do this. And she ordering everything and got fucking nice wine bottles and shit, customized wine bottles, customized shirts. And I'm like, damn, this is what happens when you get A players. And it just took me to see work ethic. Like, they'll work hours like 10 to 5, 10 to 6 or something like that. Dude, they stay and they'll stay until like 9 till 9 if they had to. Like, they don't work on the weekends. But we're giving out those free leads. Free leads come in on the weekends. So now she's like, I'm working on the weekends. No extra money, not even asking for anything extra, not asking for no raises.
beautiful.
It's like, this is what I got to do. This is what it takes to actually win.
Yeah.
But then the person that I had above her was like, all right, yeah, weekend off, I'm off. Yep, I don't want to actually touch it. I don't care nothing about it and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, you're not in it. You're not bought in.
Yeah.
I want somebody that's bought in. So I guess A player to me is somebody who's bought in.
Yeah.
No, when it comes down to, because I feel like you can teach the majority of anything
Okay,
else.
that's what I was gonna ask. So is skill a big thing for you when you're looking at somebody? Or are you looking at totally personality? Like,
Because the buy-in, you won't know until actually shit comes down to
right.
it. So it's really hard to actually see buy-in. So when it come in skill, I feel like on a scale of 1 to 10, you have to be at least like a 7, because I could teach you to be a 9. I can teach you to be a 10, right? Or if I'm poaching talent, you better already be a 10. But I don't try to poach from nobody, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if I could, I would.
Yeah.
You know, because all the A players right now, all the A players are employed.
They've got people already.
Yeah. So they already employed. So that's the biggest thing I tell a lot of people that try to hire. Like, oh yeah, man, I'm gonna hire an acquisition guy to work these leads. Don't do it. That is the quickest way for you to lose.
Yeah.
It's good. Like, you never had inbound leads. You're gonna hire somebody else to work inbound leads. That is the dumbest thing I ever heard. How you gonna teach them? Oh, they already know how to wholesale, but they coming to work for you.
They're gonna take your leads, bro.
Yeah. And I'm like, so skill could be a 7. But my team, like, dude, we were just really big on communication. So long as they're really good on communication and they just want it. Like, if a client texts you on a Saturday and you message the client, I like that. And you make sure it's getting handled. Like, I like that. And I will say this, though. So I probably lost a lot of A players, too. Because I was a shit leader.
Factor?
Because I was, we was talking about assholes. I was an asshole. I'm an asshole still, but I was an even bigger asshole. And like to set the Superman complex, you know, like I was in my own way.
Yep.
I had to get out of my own way, especially for the company to grow, because I thought I was the shit. As far as in me listening to the ego as the enemy, I had to put the ego aside and realize, like, okay, you're probably better at me than this. And I went to the team when I realized that I was in my own way. I went to the team like, guys, and I had a really good conversation with them. I spent like an hour or 2 hours with them. I was like, guys, look around in the Zoom room. I used to probably have like 20, 30 employees. And I was like, look in the Zoom room, guys, it's just us left.
Wow.
I was like, it's just us left, but I like it like this. It just make way more sense. And what I want from you guys is, if you guys are sticking here, let's just stick it out and let's actually just do it. Because I was an asshole. Like, I was me. I'm saying that a lot because express the type of asshole I was.
I've heard some stories. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Oh, sales guys, I'm with the sales guy. I'm a dick. You know what I mean? It's like it's shark infested. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially with wholesaling, like you just got to be a shark. Yeah. So, but I'm talking about far as with the back end team, like with the W-2s, and even me being an asshole to them, I'm like, there's no point in me being an asshole. So I went to them and I'm like, guys, I feel like I've been an asshole to you guys. Do apologize, but shit's gonna change. And when I say something, I try to be the man of my word.
Yeah.
My biggest thing is me being a man of my word. So I'm like, every time, like, I want to resort back to being an asshole. Like, I was an asshole in my relationship. I was an asshole to my employees. I was an asshole to anybody. I was just like an asshole. I'm 25, making millions.
Yeah.
Nice watch. Nobody can tell me shit. And I was like, let me just get out my own way. Once I got out my own way, creativity shot up. Yep. And I told my team, I was like, guys, I maxed out. I'm maxed out on far in the creativity. Like, we're good. We're getting client results, but I'm maxed out on the creative shit we can do. Give me some ideas.
Yeah.
The ideas they came up with was so simple that I wouldn't have came up with. Like, they're so simple, but I'm here and I wouldn't have came up with them. Like the gifts things. Like, I'm a lead generation. Why not send clients gifts if they stay with us for 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, for a whole year? Like, why not send them gifts? I'm like, okay, that's a smart idea. SOPs, let's do this. Hey, let's send birthday videos. So like, Gunnar, they're gonna say, hey, Courtney, send Gunnar a birthday video. Like, you're gonna get a birthday video from the whole team saying happy birthday, Gunnar.
Let's go.
Like little things like that I wouldn't have came up with because I'm so focused on growing. Mm-hmm. But once I told them, like, guys, I'm maxed out, I basically like showed my wounds, like, I'm maxed out. I don't know what else creatively I can do for the team. And they's like, we've been waiting on this moment. As soon as I said that, we've been waiting on this moment. Idea after idea after idea after idea. And I'm like, damn. I was really in my own way. So now I just let them handle it.
Luckily for me, I haven't lost an A player, but I definitely was in those same shoes. Like, I wasn't a good leader at all. Yeah. I didn't know how to hold people accountable in the right way.
Yeah.
But luckily, my hiring was so bad initially that I wasn't losing anything except for money and time. I didn't lose somebody who's a real killer. Yeah. We have one guy now. His name's Zach. He's actually a rapper. His name's Zach Frost. So if you guys want to listen to him, but he's an incredible musician. And so one of my first ever like really good employee. He's like, JT, I've got this guy. I played baseball with him in college. He just quit his job. I think he'd be a good one. I'm like, I don't want to pay any more W-2 salary right now. He's like, brother, trust me. Just let's meet with him. I'm like, I'm telling you, I don't want to pay. He's like, just meet with him. I'm like, okay, fine. We'll meet with them. I get there, I'm like, look, I have no more room for W-2 employees. I'm just gonna let you know that right now. And I'm not looking to hire any independent contractors because they don't ever work as hard and I can't hold them accountable the same way. So to be honest with you, Zach, this probably isn't gonna go anywhere, but I'd love to hear what you have to say. He's like, look, don't pay me anything. I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna come in here and be the best you've ever seen. I'm like, brother, I'm like, I'm telling you right now, I don't want any independent contractors. So he sells me on himself in the car. I'm like, you know what? I said, show up tomorrow. Show me what you got. He walks in there. I don't train him a single bit. I've never, ever told him a single thing about real estate. I told him what wholesale was. I told him what innovation was. And I told him what creative finance was. I didn't really tell him how to do it. And so he gets on his first ever phone call.
Yeah.
And he's trying to pitch innovation to the guy. And he goes, yeah, and partner, honestly, we're gonna get everything taken care of for you, and really just make sure everything's taken care of on the back end. And the guy's like, oh yeah, like what? And he goes, that mortgage. And the guy's like, what the you know what I'm saying? And he looks at me in panic, and I'm like, show me what you got. Guy takes it off mute, turns it around, locks up the deal on the phone, first ever call, locks up the deal, and it's gonna probably make us like 30, 40 bands. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. First ever call, he locks it up, and he looks at me and was like, so when he said that mortgage, and he muted it, looked at me like he just fucked up, and he knew. And so my friend is like, or not my friend, but his friend who was my first good hire, looked at me and was like, dude, I'm sorry for for bringing him on. And then as soon as he closed that deal on the phone, his friend was like, I told you.
Yeah. So these are in-person employees?
Yeah, we have an office.
Really?
Oh yeah, dude, it gets hype in there. We put like sexy red and glow Rilla on when we close deals, and so we're in like a co-working space, but we have like our own private office.
Really?
And so it's all like these very professional like lawyers and CPAs.
Yeah.
And then in ours it's just like I'm
Glow.
F-R-E-E.
like
We're on the
Glow.
tables dancing. Yeah, it's crazy. It's fun.
Yeah, Glow.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's an A player to you?
Oh man, A player to me. See, I kind of ran into the same issue. I had terrible leadership skills, and I just I hired a ton of people, but my ego got in the way too. And I'm like, yeah, come in and close deals. And I was doing all 1099s because I was virtual at the time, and I wasn't training them right. I wasn't paying them good because they didn't know how to close the leads. I was trying to show them, and I was like, these people should just know. You should know how I know. Step out of the way. I'll come in and close it for you. But I was wearing all the hats, man. I was trying to wear all the hats. I was micromanaging everybody, and it just nobody liked it. There was no morale there.
Yeah,
it was all virtual.
Yeah,
it wasn't fun. But man, it's as soon as I realized like you said, you got to take a step back and realize you can't be an asshole. These people, they would be in your shoes if they knew what you knew. Right?
Yeah.
So
exactly. Yeah. I like that.
I didn't know that. And I was like, these people should just know it. I tell them one time, they should know it.
Yeah.
And that's not how it works.
That's not how it works at all, dude. I tell my team, figure it out. My biggest thing, they'll tell me, but with the A players, so I ran into the same problem with C players and A players. So they get a problem, and a C player come to me with a problem, I say, figure it out. And they don't go and figure it out.
Exactly.
And then I tell an A player, figure it out. And now they come to me with solutions, and I choose the best solution.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I didn't have to teach you how to actually problem solve.
That's good.
So I guess that's a good quality factor as far as an A player,
really
good problem solving.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, go figure it out. And they come back with this is a solution, this is a solution, this is a solution. But the C players come back and oh man, I need help on this. You know,
they come down with bad morale.
Come down bad. Yeah. This is no, I don't really like that.
Yeah, no.
I will say this about Gunnar. Gunnar has a very good talent for finding A players. I'm not gonna lie to you. He has put 2 people in my business right now in the past week that have completely changed the game. They are A players. But his issue, before we started combining forces, was he didn't know how to retain them. Yeah. He would get he has this dispo girl. She's incredible. I mean, she is literally incredible. You just got to meet her.
Is the one that you always had? Okay.
Yeah. Yes, she is incredible. But she left because someone was paying more, and
I was only paying commission.
She's feeding her family with that money.
Yeah.
So he could either up her commission to 15, 20% and maybe keep her, but he didn't have the strategies to retain her.
Yeah.
Now, and a TC woman too, a transaction coordinator, she's phenomenal. So now they've been implemented into my business.
The same people?
Yeah.
The dispo person came back.
So we've just got her back.
Okay.
So we've just got her back.
We're combining the wholesaling companies.
Really?
Yeah.
Knoxville?
Yeah.
We're going to pick different markets all over the Southeast, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But basically, the teams, I'm moving up to Knoxville, and I'm not moving there, but I'm going up there next week, meeting the team, combining everything. And full-blown partnership.
Damn, I kind of want to, okay, let's go. And what you guys want to scale that to?
Oh, shit.
Tens of millions.
I'm trying to put at least 10 mil up a year.
All right, let's say just wholesaling.
Just wholesaling.
Just wholesaling.
In wholesaling and innovation, trying to do 10 mil a year.
100%.
Probably just solely innovation.
Okay, yeah. So let's talk about that. How many of you guys deals are innovation? What percentage?
Dude, like 90.
90% for me too.
Why? Because you can offer more.
Okay,
Go ahead, talk to me.
here's my thing, okay? I'm very, very conservative with my offers. I'm very conservative because I don't want to lock up a bad deal. I don't want to waste anybody's time.
Yeah.
I think Gunnar's the same.
Yeah.
Well, the same way. But I think the reason that we have so much more innovation is because of the way that we pitch it. It's only like $5,000 or $10,000 more, really, but it's way, way, way more time. So I think Eric Klein might have done this, but someone calls it the equity protection program. Yeah. So I flip between the white glove service and the equity protection program based on what the issue is. But either way, a lot of these people and a lot of these people selling have tenants, or they have an issue where they can't sell in 45 days or 30 days.
Yeah.
So what I say, I'm like, oh, yeah, so you're probably gonna have to tell your tenants, or you're probably gonna have to wait like 60 days to close, right? Yeah, I probably need a minimum of 45. Look, how about this? We'll give you 90 days, let's say, and then when we're ready to close before then, if you can get them out before then and we're ready to close, we'll just close whenever you can. Oh, wow, that would be awesome. So instead of us being like, yo, we need 60 or 90 days to do this novation, we're like, look, you know you're gonna have to move people out. We wanna be able to make sure you can get everything moved out in time. We don't want you to be rushed. How about this? Let's just put it for 90 days, and if we're both ready before then, we can close in 2 weeks if you can.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
I think a big thing too is, like, I was mentioning this on our coaching call the other day, is like a lot of people think that, you know, since they're using this innovation strategy, oh, they can come up so much higher on the purchase price, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I'm still gonna get it locked up. I'm gonna be able to put it on the MLS and it's gonna sell, right? And they're kind of using it as a crutch, and you can't use it as a crutch, dude. Like if you're not making those super low ball offers where your gut is just like,
you feel it in your sleep, like damn, they gonna say no.
Yeah.
He's gonna say no. Yeah.
Exactly. If you're not making those offers, I mean, you're not like, it's not gonna work, right? Because regardless of how we pitch innovation, or if we know like this would be a crazy innovation, we're always pitching the low ball offers, and it's always the offer that we know that if something hits the fan, the property's not in the condition they told us, we know we can dump this off to an investor for 15, 20 grand, regardless. Because like, I mean, going on the MLS, you don't typically have to go for the nicest properties, things like that. You can sell shitters on the MLS. 100%.
Yeah.
But it's like a lot of people are coming in and they're thinking this new strategy is just going to save them. And they're able to offer so much more. So they're coming in with that first offer being so high. And they're trying to put it on the MLS. It's not selling.
Then they can't go get a PR because they already got the, that makes sense.
Homeowners are like getting fed up with it. So like, the people that don't understand this, that go into it, like kind of mess it up for everybody. And I think that's where we are right now.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay. Then you guys say 90%. So tell me about your guys' sales process. So far as in, I really like you guys' sales. You guys are doing deals, so I like to ask people that are actually doing deals. Like, man, so I know how you guys frame it. So we used to get like a quick, brief 2-minute overview, like discovery, you know, what, like everything. Just go top A to Z. Don't tell me the sales process. We don't have to go role play right now. But if I'm a wholesaler and I'm getting on the call, talk to me. Walk me through your sales process.
You're good. So I'll tell you mine, since we're combining, like this is like right now we're about to combine. It's going to change a little bit, but how mine was lead comes in through marketing campaign. If it's a Facebook inbound lead, it goes straight to the closers. Okay. If it is a like SMS, cold call lead, whatever it is, outbound, it's going to a lead manager, and then that lead manager setting the appointment for the closer.
Makes sense.
Okay. So that's kind of how I had it set up. Process would be lead manager that talks to an outbound lead is going through the discovery phase.
Okay.
They're getting condition, beds, baths, motivation, and price.
That's the lead manager.
That's the lead manager's job. Okay. They're basically pre-qualifying them for the appointment.
Okay.
And then the closer's job is obviously get on there, close the
deal.
lead out.
Okay.
And then for inbound, Facebook lead comes in, acquisitions guy gets on there, ask all the same questions a lead manager would for the outbound call. But then they're putting them on hold instead of setting an appointment because it's already the closer, and they're closing them on the spot.
Damn, I like that.
And then if they don't close them on the spot, the lead manager comes back, heats the lead up to set the appointment.
How many of you guys deals are one call closes?
Depending on my acquisitions guy. One of my guys, almost everything's one call close.
Really?
Yeah. The other guy, king follow up. He put 2 deals up in his first 2 months. Last week he put 7 up. Yeah.
I would say big thing for me is it comes back to that leadership, right? The guys that I had were terrible at one call closes. Okay? But when I get on the phone, it's I have that experience. I'm one call closing everybody. At least I try to.
Yeah.
And then if I don't, they're getting heated back up. So like JT said, it depends on the person.
Depends on the person. Okay,
Depends on
but you
if you
should
have that
opt
dog
for
mentality.
you have more one call closes.
Oh, yeah.
I push for one call close because if you don't get the contract signed, one of 2 things is happening. One, they're going to go shop you, or 2, they're going to or 2, they're going to be like, I don't know if I want to sell anymore. We had a one call close with this guy who it's a really good deal. Then in a weekend, he's like, I don't want to sell anymore. Sorry, partner.
Yeah.
You signed. So you're either going to pay me $10,000 and you can have
Yeah, get the
we'll
property
clear
back or
it,
sell it.
right? Or we're going to clear title forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, okay. So, let's say if you would have followed up with him a week or 2 later, he'd be like, yeah, I changed my mind. I don't want to sell anymore. You know what I mean? So then you never got that contract. So I think that's the importance of it. All right, guys, I think we coming to an end on time. I really wish I would have had more time with you guys today, dude. We're going to have, is it coming to an end? Oh, shit.
sick.
Okay.
Sweet.
Well, scratch that, guys. Never mind. I'm pretty sure Jay will chop that out. If not, guys. Jay suck. No. Jay's a really good guy. He's a go-to guy. Okay, so let's hop back into it because I'm really intrigued about this the sales thing, guys. So, because we get a lot of guys come in, and as I was telling you guys earlier, and they don't do the one call fucking closes. And I'm like, get on the phone with the lead. You get on the lead. He's basically all the discovery stuff. We know we know if they're behind on payments. We know the condition of the property. You can just go and qualify and ask all those questions. They filling out the form. They want to sell their property. They have a property. We have all this. All you got to do is just get them to close.
Yeah.
And then they'll go and drop the bag. And I feel like a lot of them are dropping the bag when they hang up that phone because it adds more work. Because what we did, we noticed with our guys, far as in bringing on real estate investors, we noticed because we went and tracked all the data back, we were adding an extra 2 hours, 3 hours of follow-up to each person. So let's say if our calls are an hour to bring, it's an hour strategy call, we're breaking everything down for you. But if we don't one call close it, it's another 2-3 hours of follow-up.
Yeah.
And that's texting. Take 10 minutes to text.
Yeah.
Okay, to actually come up with a good text message. Then it's calling them again. You said now you're trying to call them 3 times. You're just following up with these guys, having a good conversation with them. It's just get the one call closed.
Yeah.
Because if I'm commissions only, let's break it down. I get a one call closed in an hour. All right, per hour, that's my commission spread. But let's say if it takes me 4 hours to get it done.
Way cheaper.
Way cheaper, right? So we're like, all right, let's just go for the one call close. And I think a lot of guys are not doing that. And somebody come in swooping, like you guys doing that one guy, coming in, swooping deal, and just, all right, I'm going to actually do a one call close on this lady, lock her up. And he's just offering her $500 more.
Yep.
Yeah, and because they're not in this to just move. They want money too.
Yeah.
$500 for a good amount of people.
Yeah.
Could buy groceries for multiple weeks.
Yeah.
Because not everyone is, like Courtney Scott, balling and shit.
I was gonna say, but my bill's probably like $600 a week.
No,
my food bill. Yeah.
Mine is, a lot of money too a week, I guess. But these people are not living this life.
They're in distressed situations.
Yes.
You know what I mean? They have to sell their property, so it's $500 is a
Can
lot.
go
too.
a long way.
A long way.
Yeah.
And then I was talking to this other client, which is because I was like, man, go do some lookalike audiences, some lookalike targeting. And he's like, man, you know what's so funny? So this is money management. This is kind of off topic. He was like, every time a distressed seller sell me their house, dude, I call them 3 years later to check on them. They back in another distressed situation.
Yes.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, what, dude? He's like, yeah. Every time I close a distressed seller, dude, I call them literally 3 years later, dude. They
They
still
have something. Yeah.
Yeah. It's I don't know what it is. It's kind of that bumpy road. They get them.
It's a cycle. I feel like until you break how do I put it? Until you break the chains of, I don't want to say poverty, but living the paycheck to paycheck lifestyle, until you really understand that it takes your effort to get out of it, you're going to stay in. I think you'll stay in it forever. Yeah. No matter how much money you get,
And what was a good key you guys think for helping someone to break that?
Getting out of, growing up, you're taught save, spend, save, spend, save, spend, save, spend. It's like you want a new toy. Your mom's like, yo, you got to save your money up to go get the new toy.
Yeah.
Then you become, 18, 16. You want to get your first car. If your parents aren't buying it, you got to save up your money to buy your first car, right? Instead, what I try and tell you is like, save up your money. Now, some people don't agree with this, and I'm not a Dave Ramsey guy, but save up your money and then take out leverage, right? Don't have all this opportunity cost. Because for me specifically, people are, when I say leverage, I mean non-consumer debt. A lot of people are purchasing things with a loan that shouldn't be purchased with a loan, right? So you're going out and buying bottle service, right? And you're putting it on a damn credit card. Then you can't pay. You're making payments on your night out for 5 bands, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
On the other hand, I go out, I have let's say for example, $100,000 Section 8, right? I could go buy that $100,000 cash, or I could go buy 10 with $10,000 cash, right? And so now I've built way more, and it's riskier. It's 100% riskier. But these people are living in the, save, spend. They know they're going to be able to spend this much because they make this much. But imagine they save a lot more to be able to disperse it into other areas. Maybe it has risk, but at least it can produce reward. I think a lot of people are just in like I made this much, I can spend this much, instead of like, I need to make more so I can diversify my portfolio or something like that. That's kind of my thought
category
process.
last year. That's what we were talking about.
Save, spend.
Save, spend.
Yeah.
Save, spend. Okay, now you transitioning.
But you make spend.
Yeah, literally,
those
dude.
wires hit?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, dude.
20, 30, 40, 50 G's.
Yeah.
Hit my account. I'm going to Miami. No,
Yeah.
getting a yacht or something. Nah,
Yeah.
but I like that. Like, get out of the save, spend, because you're right, man. Everybody was literally raised that way. Like, all right, save up.
Yeah.
Save up. You get the money. You saved up the money. Now I can go buy it. Now I go back broke. Now I got to save again to get the next thing. You buy it. Okay, now I go back broke. And it's like just in a repeated cycle of that. Or let's say you saving for something, an emergency happened. Then you got to spend that money on that emergency.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or you
don't
buy
have
the
the money,
thing and then the emergency happened.
Yeah.
So you bought it. Now you're like, all right, man, I got to pay this hospital bill. So like, let's say, I know people are like, oh yeah, money isn't everything. But I will say, guys, having some money allows you a lot.
Yeah.
Dude, I ain't gonna lie. Like when I broke my pelvis in Belgium, and the lady, the guy came in the room, he's like, hey, here's how much the surgery is gonna cost. And the first thing I said, so let's say if it's expensive, if I don't pay it, would I still be able to get the surgery? He's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, I'm good. I'm just not gonna pay you. No, I'm kidding. I didn't say that. And I'm like, he's like fumbling around and I'm like, how much the surgery is gonna be? I'm in Belgium, and he's like, it's gonna be $6,000. I'm like, to open me up, everything $6K? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah. And then I was like, oh, I got $3,000 cash on me right now. And then he's like, but the doctors don't even make that much and stuff like that over there. So it's still like, it's $6,000, and it was like a big shock to him. Like, you don't got travel insurance, and literally he pussy, but you don't got travel insurance, Courtney, man. So you gotta pay cash, you gotta pay this and this. I'm like, okay, how much is it? He like $6,000. I'm like, I literally told, I thought you was gonna say like 30K. I'm like, I thought you was gonna say 30 grand. He's like $6,000. I was like, okay.
Because that'll cost you $80K in the US.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, really? Like, yeah. He's like, all right, what's your banking details? Like, all right, here you go. All right, we good to go. And I was like, that was the easiest shit ever, just because I had the money and I was able to do that. And I was like, a lot of people don't have that. But I came back, still gonna bull ride. I got insurance. I was like, fuck that. Because I know it's gonna be like 40,
you don't
50.
Do it again.
I'm not doing that again.
100%.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, bull riding. So, yeah, man. So when you guys are not wholesaling, what you guys are doing?
Coaching.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Honestly, I spend a lot of time working now. I mean, I used to have, like, when I had a fiance, of course, that didn't pan out, of course. But now I used to, like, spend a lot of time with family. And now from, like, 6 a.m. or 6:30 a.m. to, like, 8:30 or 9 at night, I'm working. So, like, while people are answering the phones, I'm wholesaling, doing acquisitions. And then in the evening, we're doing calls. We're helping our students out and things like that. And then at, like, 10 o'clock, I'll, hang out with my mom or something. Yeah,
it goes back to like what I mentioned earlier. Like, we made the money, we spent it, we had fun, and it's like that lifestyle's fun, but at the same time, like, if you didn't do anything, like, what would you be doing? Like, you'd just be blowing money the whole time, right? So like, if we moved down here, like, we made tens of millions of dollars and like we were good, like, it'd be fun, but at the same time, like, what are you working for? you know? So
yeah.
like we have that mentality now to where it's like work. And then like we're down here having fun right now, but we've been working this whole trip. But like stuff like that's more fun than just like, oh, I'm never working again, you know, things like that. So
A sense of purpose.
Yeah,
you
sense
know,
of
like you
purpose.
still have goals.
100%.
I think, you know, I'm sure you have goals that you want to hit. And it's like,
yeah.
reaching those is the most fun thing you can ever do.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Like,
we help a client get a new Section 8
Yeah.
property. Like it's like dopamine for us.
Yeah.
To do that.
yeah. That's
help
like
a
me
client
riding that
close-
motorcycle.
Yeah.
That's dopamine, or get on that
Yeah.
bull. Yeah. So, yeah, because I like that. And my goals, which is crazy, but I would say let's talk about goals. Because I noticed with having goals and working
Yeah.
a lot, what I did was throughout my career, I pushed a lot of my goals back. I was in my head, kind of like you said. I was like, I'm like, all right, man. When I make this much money, I'm gonna go do this.
Dude, that's me,
And then I
bro.
work this much money, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
I make the money. Like I told myself, dude, when I do this much money, I'm gonna get a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
By the time I make the money, I was no longer interested in Lamborghinis.
Yeah.
You'll never see me driving a Lamborghini. You know what I mean? Same thing. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go get a Rolex. I went and got it. Just despite my younger self, I was like, I'm gonna go get a Cartier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I went and just got a Raptor truck instead. I was like, when I make this money, I'm gonna go buy a house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I made the money. I'm like, I don't really want to buy a house. You know what I mean? So I pushed that back. Now I'm just staying in the loft downtown. I'm like, yeah, it's probably time for me to get a house.
Yeah.
So now I'm just looking at houses, but the type of house I want is kind of different. I'm kind of in between, which I want to ask you guys about this.
Okay.
You're doing the office thing. I'm thinking about transition into something like that as well. Because I feel like to have that culture and have that morale and have everybody in the office. Because on Zoom, I can call you and tell you you're not working, but you probably interpreted it wrong. You know what I mean? Like, hey, yeah, this is what we're going to do. This is where we're headed. Like, I can say that easier in person. I feel like I can say the hard shit in person.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I can see how your emotions, I can see how you react to it and do everything based off of your emotions. But if it's on Zoom, I can't really see. I can't really tell.
Exactly.
And I just keep hammering at it, and I
So,
don't know.
yeah, I ran a Zoom company. Horrible.
Was it? Okay.
Because these people are telling you they're working, but guess what they're doing? They're sitting on their phone like, you know, also working at the same time.
Yeah.
In the office now, I see them pick up the phone like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
You told me you want to come here and make money. Then they're held more accountable. They know I'm watching them. And here's the greatest portion of any of this, okay? With a sales company, the number one motivator is the guy next to him, is
Yeah.
the competition.
Yeah.
And in sales, this took me a little bit. I was like, we're never gonna have drama in this office. Dude, when one person's kicking the other one's ass, it's heated in there.
Yeah.
It is heated. Everyone is emotional. Everyone's looking to get the next deal. And like one day we came in there and I was like, look, they both have like girlfriends, wives. The two big
I got it.
acquisitions guys. And I came in there and we call each other the Chromies. And I was like, yo, Chromies, today we're gonna do a Chrome petition. I'm like, what the hell's a Chrome petition? I'm like, we're gonna have a competition. And whatever person locks up a deal first, or whatever person locks up a deal today, the one who doesn't get it done has to go run a 10K. The one who does get it done gets him and his wife or fiance paid for an all-inclusive trip out to this bougie spa in Asheville. It's called like Omni. Dude, they come in there and they're fucking going at it. One guy is submitting like 10 contracts a day. The other guy's submitting like 3. He locks up a deal. He's like, I'm pissed. And he's trying to lock up the deal. And now they're both going back at it. He's like, JT, I just feel like this is never gonna work. I'm like, Duncan. Yeah, his name's Duncan. He's like, Duncan. I'm like, you locked up 3 deals earlier this week. He's like, yeah, I know. I just don't like losing. You know how I am. He actually got drafted to play in the MLB.
Yeah.
But he ended up coming to do acquisitions, working a job. And he is just, they get so emotional when the person next door to him, you know.
Yeah, right next to him.
Yeah, so he went from 3 contracts last week to 10, in a week. And like, that's all of his follow-up and things like that. But that was just like the company culture. He started kicking his ass so bad that he was like, JT, I promise you, bro. He was like, I promise you I'm gonna be top again. I promise.
Yeah.
And so that motivated him to make the extra call to do the extra thing. So in person for you specifically, and I think like, especially for sales guys,
Yeah.
when you can go ring that fucking bell or hit the gong or whatever it's called, you know, it just that morale gets
Yeah.
boosted way up.
Like, let's go. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Damn. Thank you guys for sharing that, man. So you thinking about, so you said you're gonna open up multiple offices around the Southeast, right? Tennessee, probably one out here, or
We'll have an HQ.
okay, hey, it's gonna be
Just one HQ, and then we will do like small acquisitions offices per whatever.
you guys are not playing.
Yeah, no, we're looking to scale this thing big.
Really? How long you guys giving yourselves?
6 months, probably.
10 million?
Dude. No.
Oh, okay.
6
10 million
months
in
to
6
be.
months.
We're looking 6 months to have all of our systems fully in place to get this thing operating. Because like right now we're still in the business. Like we're not working on the business. You know, you've heard that concept is like we're not working on the business. We're still in the business. So here in about 6 months, we want to have every single thing. So we're like hiring marketing directors right now. We're hiring to like determining what areas we're giving you. We're hiring lead directors. We're hiring dispo directors. Like everything to just be able to like plug in because we want to step out. Only thing we want to do is be able to be like, this process needs fixed a little bit. Let's collab on that, fix that, and make it more efficient. That's all we want to do instead of making the calls, helping them close the deal in person. Like we'll hire sales managers and all that.
All in house.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
In-house.
Dude, I love that. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Because I like that. I like the transition in house. And I was literally thinking, I'm like, should I actually bring it in house? I'm like, I really want to bring it in house. But like you said, as far as in accountability, and I feel, even though like you say they're on their phone.
Yeah.
But even if they're not on their phone, you're gonna think they're on their phone.
Yeah, that's it.
You know what I mean? Like I'm thinking you're on your phone because you should have did more than this. They're like, of course I am doing the most I can do. But I know they're on their phone.
Yeah,
like you working from home. Oh, and everybody else say I love working from home. So I think I'm gonna make that switch.
And that's the difference between you and them, or like myself and one of my employees is like, we are relentless to what we want. Like we started this, we have that Superman complex. We want this to work so bad. Like we are losing everything if this doesn't work, right? So our mindset is like, for example, I made 1,200 calls today. I can still do more. Like this is what I want. And then they might hit 900, which is amazing. And you're like, why didn't you get to 12? It's because they are not us, or they would be doing what we are, making more money than us, or that's the kind of mindset shift that you talked about earlier.
Yeah. Exactly. Guys, there you have it. I got to get ready and catch my flight. So, guys, I appreciate Gunnar and JT. Follow these guys and check these guys on Instagram. I'm going to let them tell you guys their Instagram handles because you definitely want to give these guys a follow for sure.
Absolutely. Mine's Gunnar Morgan with 2 N's at the end and an A. So it's not Gunner, Gunnar, Morgan, Morgann.
Mine, JT Sudderth, JTSUDDERTH.
Let's go, guys. Follow me. You want to see some nice dancing? You want to see some lot of nice UGC? Guys, they're really good at the content. They give a lot of free value. So that concludes today's podcast, guys. Thank you. This is the first one, so we didn't get the chance to talk about y'all results, but next time we will.
Yeah.
But just give a quick brief. Gunnar, just hype me up a little bit. Talk to me nice.
First year with Courtney Scott, did just under $200,000 by myself, no employees, no one, all solo. This year alone, we're on track to double it.
All right.
And Courtney Scott, for me, has given me the best deals of all time, the most creative deals, the biggest spreads. Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Awesome. Thank you, guys. I love you guys. Chrome Brothers.
The Chromies.
The Chromies. The Chromies. All right. That's it.